You ever finish a book, feeling super smart, only to realize a week later that you can barely remember the key ideas? It is so frustrating, right? Well, today, we're going to fix that. We are diving into a really powerful method for turning what you read into knowledge that actually sticks with you, for good.
Okay, so let's get right into it, because the very first step is understanding what the real problem is here. Most of us, and I'm guilty of this too, we blame our bad memory. But it turns out the real culprit is something completely different. I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It haunts every single person who loves to learn. You put in the hours, you turn the pages, but the information, it just seems to evaporate. So why? Why does this keep happening?
And here it is, the big idea. We don't forget because our memory is broken. We forget because we never truly learned the information in the first place. For years, we've been treating our brains like these old filing cabinets, just trying to stuff more and more information inside, but that's not how they're built. Our brains are connection systems designed to weave new ideas into the web of what we already know.
This slide, this really nails it. Most of the time we spend reading, we're stuck over there on the left side in consumption mode. We're just passively collecting information. But the magic, the part that actually creates knowledge that lasts, that all happens on the right, digestion. This is where we get active and create understanding. Just consuming without digesting is like eating a huge meal but getting zero nutrients from it. It's frankly a waste of time.
So the big question is, how do we get better at this whole digestion thing? Well, there's an answer. It's a framework designed to solve this exact problem, and it's called the PACER method. I want you to think of PACER as a mental map. It's built on a really simple but incredibly powerful idea. Not all information is created equal. So instead of using some one-size-fits-all approach to learning, PACER gives you 5 different strategies to turn anything you read into knowledge you can actually use. So here it is, the whole PACER method laid out. Each letter stands for a totally different kind of knowledge: procedural, analogous, conceptual, evidence, and reference. Think of these as 5 different keys on a keychain. You wouldn't try to unlock your front door with your car key, right? The secret is learning which key to use for which type of information. All right, let's unlock this thing. We're going to break down each of these 5 keys one by one and look at exactly how you can put them into practice starting today. First up, we have P for procedural. This is all your how-to knowledge. The best example is learning to ride a bike. You can read 100 books about balance and physics, but you only learn it when you get on the bike and start pedaling. That's procedural knowledge. Your mind only really records it as important when your body is physically involved in doing the thing. Next is A for analogous. Okay, this one is a superpower for learning abstract stuff. Our brains kind of struggle with purely abstract ideas. So what we need to do is connect them to something we already know, something concrete and familiar. The question you have to ask yourself is always, what is this like? When you create that analogy, that bridge between the new idea and what you already understand, that's when it sticks. C stands for conceptual. This is all about seeing the big picture. It's about understanding the core principles and, more importantly, how different ideas connect to each other. The big shift here is to stop seeing information as just a long random list of facts and start building a mental map. Once your brain sees how everything fits together, remembering the individual details becomes almost effortless. Then we have E for evidence. This is the proof. These are the supporting details, the numbers, the stats, the examples, the facts. Now, here's a critical thing to get. Our brains are literally designed to forget things by default. It's a feature, not a bug. To fight that, you have to signal to your brain what's important. And how do you do that? Through organization and consistent review.
And look, this review process doesn't have to be some huge, complicated thing. Simple tools are often the best for storing and reviewing evidence. It could be a digital notebook like Notion, old-school flashcards, or a spaced repetition app. The goal is always the same. Revisit the information on a regular basis to send a clear message to your brain, hey, this stuff matters, keep it around.
And finally, R is for reference. This is for all those little details you don't actually need to memorize. Specific dates, names, famous quotes. The goal here isn't to become a walking encyclopedia. No, it's to know where to find the information when you need it. Your phone's contact list is a perfect example of this. You don't memorize hundreds of phone numbers, you just know where to look them up. The key is to externalize it. So the PACER method is an amazing set of tools, but it works best when you pair it with a really fundamental shift in your mindset. It stops being about remembering more, and it starts being about understanding better. This quote says it all. This is the heart of the entire mindset shift. Stop trying to force things into your memory. Instead, focus all of your energy on just understanding. And what you'll find is that memory becomes this effortless, natural byproduct. Your brain doesn't want to hold on to random facts. It wants to hold on to clarity.
This is so important. Memorizing the words on a page is basically useless. True learning happens when you can reconstruct the thinking that led to those words. The real test isn't, can you recite this sentence back to me? It's, can you explain this idea from scratch in your own simple words?
And here is a super simple 3-step method you can use to test your own understanding anytime. First, learn a concept. Second, close the book, put it away. Third, try to explain it out loud, as if you were talking to a 5-year-old. If you find yourself stumbling or you have to use a bunch of complicated jargon, that's your sign. That's your signal to go back and deepen your understanding. It's a fantastic little diagnostic tool.
Okay, this brings us to the final and I think the most important idea of all. The ultimate goal of learning isn't just to collect facts. It's to become a different person because of what you now know. True mastery happens when knowledge stops being this external thing you carry around and it starts becoming part of you, something that actually guides your actions and your decisions every single day. It's supposed to transform you.
This slide really captures the whole journey we've been on. The old goal was to be like a library, just accumulate more and more, memorize facts. But the new goal, the better goal, is to be like a sculptor, to use knowledge to transform yourself. It's a shift from asking, what do I know, to asking, who am I becoming because of what I know?
So the next time you pick up a book or learn something new, I want to leave you with this one question. Don't ask yourself, how can I memorize this? Instead, I want you to ask, how can I live this? Because what you live, what you actually put into practice, you will never, ever forget that.